WCW Nitro versus WWF Raw is War.
The day, March 17th, 1997.
I'm Spencer.
I'm JD.
And this is
The Heel Turn! Starting with Nitro. We're in Savannah, Georgia.
You can tell.
Oh yeah, we'll get there. To start off with, we got ourselves a luchadorian match. That's a word. We've got
Probably is somewhere.
Roy Mysterio is what I put. Roy Mysterio. Hello. Rey Mysterio versus Psychosis.
Ray kicks his ass for like the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really too much to write home about this one. I would say that there was a couple parts where they were a little iffy. Chemistry-wise, it wasn't the best, which is weird because I think one of the first episodes that we actually started watching was them wrestling, and they were good.
Yeah.
So I
they
think
made just enough night.
They're lovers. It's been too far apart. You know, they're like, you don't move the way Ultimate Dragon moves. You know, kind of a thing.
Of course, these are the two losers from last night.
Yes.
This is your loser party.
I mean,
Rey Mysterio
the
lost.
real loser is Psychosis at the end of it.
That's true. He got hit with the Hurricane Ran and looked like he smashed his head pretty good in there.
Straight dunk, like God, man, the velocity, just dunk. And then after the pin, he's just like, I don't know if it's selling at that point or if he's just like, bro, I'm in pain.
I'm dying here.
Either way, Ray walks away with the victory, so he's not the loser. He's the losing winner.
There you go. Gene Okerlund then talks to Arn Anderson alone, not with the Four Horsemen. Arn Anderson is happy that Sting came home, baby. Of course, on the pay-per-view that we just watched, Sting showed up and proved that he's not aligned with NWO and hit them with baseball bats.
Yeah, right. I will hurt you all equally.
So that's good. What's bad? He is hurt.
I'm going to have surgery.
He's got to do some surgery on his back, some of his vertebrae. Sad story about his grandma. That was really depressing. And he's got to go back into surgery, but he promises he'll be back in some form or fashion.
Oh, but don't forget, Kevin Sullivan's kids hate him.
Something about Kevin Sullivan in there. We missed it. That must have been a time before we started watching.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They're trying to kill their beef, but he's like, by the way, your kids hate you. Let's squash this.
Yeah.
So we move on.
I mean, if I want to end a beef with somebody, I usually start talking about their children.
Bring up their family, so that way they can't help but listen to you. But sound remorseful.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine. Moving on, we got Max with 2 X's.
Extreme.
Versus DDP with 2 D's.
Extreme.
Yeah. DDP sad. he ain't in the happiest of moods. He came out, he literally was like, there was no self high five. His music was more reminiscent of Kurt Cobain than any other time.
Yeah.
He looked like he wanted to kill himself. And he came out on stage and he's just like,
there's a diamond here. I'm not going to cut it, though.
yeah, I mean, keep it full.
But he did win with the diamond cutter.
Yeah, so
Very
later
quickly.
on he goes self high five.
Yeah.
Hits off with the diamond cutter. There's not really much to talk about in this match either because Max is a jobber.
He's a very large jobber.
Yeah, he's huge, but a jobber nonetheless. Mean Gene meets with DDP afterwards, and he's like, hey man, what you did to my wife, that's real life. You want to snap into real life? Snap into commercials like Slim Jim or whatever the fuck he was going with it. I don't know. He went somewhere with it, and then...
He called him a dead man walking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he said he had a chalk outline. And I was like, oh, is he making fun of him being like Hulk Hogan's carbon cutout? I was like, dude, go there. Nope, you're dead.
You a dead man.
So Macho goes, yeah, brother, man. And apparently he's right by the restrooms or some shit. And then he's just like, you know, we could wrestle now if you want to. And he's like, wrestle right now. And he goes, or we could wrestle later. Which we know what that means. It doesn't mean that same match or that same night. Well, if you pay money.
Yeah.
So, of course, DDP's not in control of his emotions, starts climbing up Really dangerously.
Don't think they would let people do that now.
No.
And they probably wouldn't have let him do that back then. He probably just did it.
He just did it.
Good for him.
And they're like, motherfucker, if you fell. So he chases off, and Elizabeth's there too. He chases off Elizabeth, along with Macho Man. Which, if with them wrestling, they're still in the sort of same age bracket, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
But Diamond Dallas Page moves better, in the sense of like he's not as the wear and tear of doing that elbow drop hasn't worn on his hips and his body and shit. So
I'm excited to see that match. That's gonna. Well, we'll get more into that later.
Good story for it.
Conan and Hugh Morris versus Joe Gomez and Renegade. NWO cuts him off, and they announce
Welcome to Nitro.
that the tag champs will wrestle tonight. All right, Dungeon of Doom going do a strong double team on I think it's Joe Gomez.
Yeah, he gets destroyed. I actually wrote that.
There's some weird stuff here. They really double team him for a long time, and at one point the ref is distracted, and the Dungeon of Doom make a tag.
Yeah.
And the ref doesn't see it, and then he goes like, "You got to go back," and then Jimmy Hart goes, "Yeah, they tagged," and the ref's like, "Oh, okay." Just
Jimmy Hart's calling the match.
it's like. What?
They tag. Oh, by the way, they should be disqualified. They did something they shouldn't have done. Oh,
Yeah.
You're right.
Duh. How did I miss that?
Fucking,
Thank
there
you,
was
Jimmy
a
Hart.
chair, yes. A crime scene.
Yeah. So that's kind of weird. Eventually they tag in Renegade, who goes crazy and like beats him up.
Hot tag Renegade. A couple clotheslines later, and he's like, I gotta keep this thing going. And then he goes, Joe, get back out there. He's, what? Huh?
Joe is still like
Recovering,
like literally hunched over like this.
Yeah, because they worked his leg so bad, and you should see how he's selling it. Like he's selling it like he's like they stuck a hot iron through his body, and he's just like the entire time.
For some reason they tag him back in, and obviously he loses. Hugh hits the no laughing matter for the win.
Being Hugh Morris.
Hugh Morris.
And then
Pronouns, pal.
they get the win. Yeah, next match. Scotty Riggs versus Dean Malenko. Remember how I said that I like watching Scotty Riggs and Buff Bagwell? I like watching Buff Bagwell better than Scotty Riggs.
So we got two people from the pay-per-view. Scotty Riggs lost his strap match to Buff Bagwell, and Dean Malenko earned back his U.S. championship against Eddie Guerrero.
Good for him. Not really too much to say about this one, because this was a very quick match, especially when you consider it's Scotty Riggs. Not saying like he can't wrestle, but you just had this guy in your pay-per-view, and then now you bury the fuck out of him.
Yeah, Malenko won really quickly. I think it was with a roll-up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's blink and you miss.
Yeah.
But Malenko calls out 6, not like in any promo, just to the camera. And that's
6 knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Boom. That's it.
Way to go, Dean. You fucked it up. Next match we got Lex and the Giant versus Jobber 1 and Jobber 2.
One of their names is Tarantula.
The other one's name?
Is Guy.
Couldn't say. As far as I know, they're both just stupid. Giant pretty much like throws everyone around.
Well, you brought up an idea that I agree with. I think Lex may have injured his hand again.
Yeah, because when he came back in, his left arm or left hand, sort of at the wrist and sort of to the forearm and upward, was rewrapped. At the pay-per-view, it was actually not wrapped at all. His right hand
had like the wrist
had a bandage on the wrist.
Yeah.
So, because I thought it was his right hand that was injured. You know how it is sometimes. And then I was like, oh shit, it was his left one. That makes sense. He probably re-injured it when he's lifting everybody else up, because I think it was his second shoulder press drop or whatever they call it. He flinched super hard. He was just like, ugh! So it was just like, probably fighting through the pain, but something probably went. And then he's like, what the fuck did I just do? So back in the cast, baby. And the Giant pretty much ran most of the match. He threw fucking everyone around. and he choke slammed both of the guys. You got a 3 count off of it.
Yeah, and then Lex racks that poor guy after the match was
the
over.
bell rings.
Like, he already lost. You can be nice.
He's like, "I'm a face."
There are no faces in WCW, and there's no heels. That much is clear to me.
Pretty much. They go
Maybe in all companies now. I think about it.
AEW.
Well, I mean back then, but
Oh. They cut a promo. Sting! That's all we could think about. And then Lex rambles. About God knows
he's
what.
so happy about Sting returning. He now believes in Santa, the Easter Bunny, democracy. He believes in anything now. Anything you put on his plate.
That you could cure world hunger, world peace.
Yeah. I put Lex dies. Oh yeah, his promo really stutters after that.
Oh yes, it's a nightmare. I had my eyes closed and I was looking away. Can't cover my ears though. Had to write notes. But yeah, all I wrote was Lex rambles.
Oh, I'll cover the next one.
Yeah, hit it.
Ultimate Dragon versus Bobby Eaton. Hurricane Rana off the top rope for the win.
Wow, what an intense match.
NWO ring promo. That was literally it.
That was it.
I think there might have been one move outside. No, there were a couple, I guess, but
Yeah.
that was really it.
From what we've discovered, Bobby Eaton's nicest guy in the world. He was probably just like, you know what? I like you, Ultimate Dragon. He probably even learned Japanese so he could speak to him.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. And then he's like, yeah, man, bury me.
Destroy me.
Destroy me, so, so we can get you going in this region. He gets destroyed, and then Ultimate Dragon.
And Ultimate Dragon is the biggest star in America.
Yep, that's all it happens. John Cena, who?
NWO have an in-ring promo. Hogan basically just says NWO is great.
I said talks about upcoming matches, but that's giving him too much credit.
Yeah,
brother.
He rambles so much. Like I like listen to him, and I'm just like, so NWO is good, right? Is that what you're saying? Macho Man has accepted DDP's challenge for the pay-per-view, which is Spring Stampede.
Yeah.
And the
coming for you.
And the Outsiders will take on the Einsteiners, Steiner Bros, at Spring Stampede.
Ugh.
And Hall gets wrecked by what do you think was in that bottle?
Puke. No.
Yeah.
Pink lemonade. He literally
Just
too sweet, and then the camera's on him. Just all over his face.
and with the grace of a god,
He's just like, yeah.
he just rubs it into his hair.
Rubs it into his.
How long was his shower after that? Jeez.
Oh my god. Shit, that's hilarious.
I've never seen anything like that.
Oh man, it's great. I hope we keep getting that. Because it's starting to get to that point now. Every time NWO comes out on the stage, they get shit thrown at them.
Dude, how much money do you think the concessions made off that? It's like, oh shit, my beer's gone.
Better get another.
That's why this is in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Make sure people have to go back and get something else.
And you know what? They had plenty of time to do it because Alex Wright and Mark Starr come out with JJ and Jeff Jarrett versus Jeff Jarrett and I put and Mongo. They are not all on the same team. Alex Wright is teaming with Mark Starr. Obviously, Four Horsemen, Jeff Jarrett, Mongo on their sides. Starting off with Alex Wright and Jeff Jarrett. And Alex Wright actually looks really good.
He is on fire.
Yeah, it's nice seeing him, do those high jumps that he's starting to be known for. Like he always drop kicks like right at your head. He's never drop kicking like anything lower.
Yeah.
Which is great to see.
I want someone to smile at me the way Mongo smiled about getting tagged into this match.
Was he smiling at Jeff Jarrett or just in general?
I think just in general. I think he was elated.
He was like, I can't wait to wrestle here in Savannah, Georgia.
Teeth-bearing grin.
Just
like, oh my god, this is the best moment of my life.
I called it orgasmic. You just said a smile.
Will I get in? Yes, I will.
I will. Thank you for giving me this pleasure. He comes in. I think the match starts to deteriorate at this point because Jeff Jarrett tags him in with their little signature where he brings his leg down and then leg drops, except he does the elbow this time because I think he fucked up his knee. When they threw Alex Wright into the ropes, I think Alex went a little bit too hard on the rope, and then when Mongo brought his knee up and hit him, might have hurt his knee. It wasn't at the proper angle. He was just trying to make it look rough. So that's why he went with the elbow drop. You never see him do the elbow drop normally.
Yeah.
So, different.
Jeff Jarrett went with the figure 4 with Mongo running interference out on Alex Wright, I think it was.
Because Mark was in the ring, and then
I think it's nice to see that they're working together. It's actually kind of heartwarming after
their differences.
Differences.
It's just so last pay-per-view when they were fighting. But that doesn't stop people from the last pay-per-view from fighting. Public Enemy interferes at this point with their shitty fucking music and their shitty fucking wrestling and their shitty fucking hand-waving and their shitty fucking names. I just don't like Public Enemy, I'm sorry. They interfere, literally get chased off. It's literally the point where they're fighting each other and then they just go, alright, I'm done.
Alright, I'm out. You guys are going to do a promo, right? Where your backs will be turned to us?
Hey,
okay.
First round's on me. What the fuck ever.
Little promo we get, they just say, yeah, we're going to take them on at Spring Stampede, Public Enemy versus us. Us being JJ and Mongo, pronouns pal. And then Deborah decides to talk, says, I am beautiful and smart, and these people are what we call in the pageant industry a winning combo. And
Jeff Jarrett jumps on that. Yeah, we are a winning combo. And then, what did Mongo say? Mongo's like, I dare you to boo Deborah, and the boos commence.
And then Mongo does call Public Enemy tartar.
Yeah, like tartar.
Like tartar sauce.
Yeah, I think. Whatever. He says he's gonna eat them. He says, bring out the buffet table. I'm gonna make Public Enemy tartar.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah. Nom 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 nom.
I've heard worse threats in my life.
Me too. Directed towards me. But
Scott Norton versus Chavo Guerrero Jr. Scott's a big boy. Chavo is not. Scott no-sells some drop kicks. Overpowers Chavo quite a bit. But I think they have a good big man, little man dynamic.
Yeah, Chavo started to strategize. Let me go for his joints. Was going for the legs. Getting some mileage off of it too. But not enough. Because he gets powerbombed. And
that's it.
That's it.
That was alright.
Chavo fell through the ring into hell. And then Satan picked up the three count.
I'll do this part because you don't usually like these ones.
I don't.
NWO segment, pretty short. Hogan and Rodman are best friends. And they just kind of talk to each other lovingly, and it's getting kind of creepy.
Do you want to handle the next one? Because I don't like this part either.
Oh, Outsiders! They sing Bad Boys. Of course, the Cops was a strong show at the time.
Yeah.
So they're singing that. And then they're going up against Bunkhouse Buck and Mike Enos.
Wasn't the first Bad Boys out then?
Maybe.
Either way.
They had a decent match. Mostly Hall selling and Nash not selling at all. And Hall was like trying to give him a chance. Nash was not having it. He was just one-shotting everybody. And he powerbombs them, but they really win with the Outsider's edge. I guess I was kind of expecting them to completely squash the team, and that didn't really happen.
I think Hall was the only one that cared about making it look like a real match.
Yeah.
But I would not have picked those two to do it. You should have done that with
Yeah, give it to a team that...
Give it to Harlem Heat.
Give it to Harlem Heat and then have interference to beat them.
To beat them.
Or to get the DQ.
To show them, hey man, they got the potential.
Yeah.
But, whatever. You know we biased over here. Next match, I'm using quotations if you're just listening. Chris Benoit versus Billy Kidman. Crippler crossface submission. Billy Kidman's out. Loses.
Billy who?
Yeah, I don't think he had one offensive.
No.
Fucking bullshit. What are we doing?
This is like 30 seconds long.
This is only to cut promos, which is starting to piss me off. But old favorite comes through. Ric Flair. Papa Ric Flair. Or uncle. He's that uncle that says racist shit sometimes, and you're just like, alright, but hey, he helped you get through college. So you can't really completely shit on the guy. Comes out, Rick being Rick, woo, 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 all the time. But he has an interesting sort of direction with his dialogue. Attacking Roddy Piper specifically. Saying,
yeah.
You dropped the ball. And to be frank, we're looking back at the notes here. Roddy Piper did get eliminated before
Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit.
Who's actually in before him.
Who was in before him.
At the first round.
Who got wrecked by everybody. Who got super moves done to him by Scott and Kevin. And I think both Scotts. Scott Steiner and Scott Hall. So he got fucked up, and he still stayed in there. He didn't get thrown out until he was literally the last guy that could oppose the NWO. So, well, before.
So are we going to see a match between Flair and Roddy Piper?
I hope it never happens.
Because that would suck.
That is going to suck. It won't be at this pay-per-view. It's going to be at, like, 3 down the line. And it's going to suck then.
And we ended the night with Harlem Heat versus the Steiners.
Yeah.
Starting out is a pretty good match.
Yeah, Booker versus Scott. Booker gets smoked.
Did you see Scott hit that military press?
He was doing a lot of good stuff.
Jesus.
I mean, Scott's on stuff.
Scott's a beast.
Yeah. You freak! But he's definitely more buff than buff. And was laying people out, like, left and right.
Unfortunately, we don't get our conclusion because
NWO interferes.
NWO interferes.
Starts smoking everybody. Even Sherry almost gets snatched up by Macho Man. Oh yeah! It's like you're wearing gold. Come here. And then she manages to get away. Just as there's no hope left. Who's gonna save us now? It's Lex and the Giant. And they come out.
And then once they're chased off, Sting shows up.
Yeah, down the rafters, like he fell. Like, I always imagine him internally screaming, like, and then he lands and he's just like, all right, we're here.
Bat.
We're here. I've got Bat. And then Hogan is just selling that shit up.
He's got a bat!
He's pointing at me! He's pointing at me! And then, like, Vince is like, dude, what did I fucking join?
Yeah.
What kind of company? What kind of department? What the shit? And that sort of ends everything at this point. Of course, the crowd pops. It's the day after Uncensored, so whatever. And then that's kind of it. We'll see what happens next week.
WWF Raw is War. 3/17/1997. Obviously, do you remember where it is?
Yeah, Syracuse, New York.
Right.
Starting the night off beautifully. Halfway beautifully. We got the Legion of Doom.
This was not bad.
We got the Legion of Doom versus someone who sucks.
We shit on these guys quite a bit.
Savio Vega.
I think we both shit on these guys a lot. This was not bad at all.
I was falling asleep during this match.
Oh.
But that's me. I didn't get too much sleep. But I was at least awake for WCW. Yeah, Crush and Savio Vega. I believe Animal starts with Crush, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Going into
And this is the Raw before WrestleMania.
Raw before
So
WrestleMania.
you should be expecting pretty rambunctious night.
Yeah, a lot of build up, a lot of going places, all that shit. We've got Ahmed dressed differently.
Yeah.
I hope those aren't his normal clothes.
It's street clothes.
He literally mumbles and talks about seeing things. I don't know what he means by that.
He says he hasn't even started to clean house. They said, you cleaned house with him last week? And he said, yeah, we haven't started to clean house.
Have you were able to make that out?
Yeah.
I only got you seeing things.
I understand Ahmed. I think we're kindred spirits.
Of course. Farouk likes to think that he can understand Ahmed, but he's got to take it to another level.
I humor myself with the thought that those two engaging in a conversation, neither of them know what the other is saying, and so they just shout at each other, and there's no correlation between the two.
That sounds like the end of this episode, or this show. We'll get there. Farouk has to talk Ebonics, and it's lit. Fam.
It is lit, fam. Animal totally no-sold a pile driver.
Oh, yeah. He gets hit, he gets up before Savio Vega does.
Yeah.
He's just like, alright, anyway, let me hit you with a really weird clothesline.
Yeah.
I think that, I don't know what was happening. I don't know if they're trying to just end the match and get the fuck out of there, but they were definitely on a timer because Farouk not only jumps Ahmed behind the scenes and beats him up with a police baton, nightstick, but he comes to the stage interferes, gets a DQ as a result, beating up on the Legion of Doom, and then surprise, surprise, Farouk comes in with the 2x4, and was he shirtless then at that point? Or wearing less clothes? It's weird.
He's wearing that weird gray thing.
Blue and
Some jumpsuit almost.
yeah, that way he doesn't fucking have a wedgie all the time. Comes out, knocks, beats that over one of the shitty ass rappers, backs, and then he goes straight for the throat against well, everyone else really.
Hits Pearl River Plunge
That's
on
the move.
one of the rappers.
Yeah, and then the Legion of Doom set up to do that very interesting clothesline to
D'Lo Brown.
D'Lo Brown, taken down, and he sells it pretty well.
I love when they do that flip.
Yeah, it's just, that
Wait,
shit.
what's it called? It's called Doomsday Device, I
Doomsday
believe.
device. There you go. Yep, and it nukes his face. So he gets destroyed at that point, and then the match ends at that point.
Tonight, the cage match. There's going to be a cage match for the championship. Or is it? Yes.
It is.
Or is it, though?
It is.
But maybe it's not.
More at 11. Leading us over to our next match, we've got Triple H with China, first time as the valet. And Flash Fuck, he's got the stuff, ooh, yeah. Flash Fuck, he's got funkets. Whatever the fuck that means. Alright. They make their way to the stage. China is bossy.
She doesn't want to leave.
She don't want to leave because she's like, I'm gonna miss him if I'm not next to him. Nah, she was just really being stubborn, and I was even agreeing, like, get her the fuck out of here unless she's wrestling. So finally she leaves at the request of Triple H so he can get body slammed all over the place because my man Flash was putting in some work.
It's great.
He's looking mad flexible, mad stylish, and mad funky. Oh yeah.
He does try to jump over Triple H's back, where I think Triple H was supposed to catch him.
Yeah.
And to do an electric chair drop, but he didn't. They didn't get the height.
Yeah, so it looks really weird.
But he saved it. It's just it looked a little funky, but he did an electric chair drop, but more from his knees.
Yeah. Instead of like, I picked you up. Ah, God.
It's a little more labored, but
yeah,
that's okay. He saved it.
He did something with it. Yeah.
China pulls Flash from the pin. I think he hit a splash. Or
I think it was a leg drop.
Leg drop. That's what it was.
Yeah. Off the turnbuckle. And then he's like, let me pin this motherfucker. And then he gets pulled out, and then China's just like, what? Do it.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for the day that she finally gets on the mic and says something. Could be good or bad. I don't remember her as a talker. We'll see. So yeah, she ends up actually becoming quite the nuisance to Flash Funk, who just really doesn't appreciate her.
Triple H does German, doesn't work, and China distracts Mr. Funk on the apron, and then Triple H turns around, kicks him in the gut, and does a pedigree.
He does the double arm hook face slam.
Yeah,
That's what it is. Yeah, face buster. I don't want to talk about this next match.
Shawn Michaels arrives. Then we get a match about minis. Mini Mankind and Mini Vader versus Mini Goldust, and I think a guy named Masquerada, who's really the hero of the match, except I can't remember his name.
I think
Okay, let me challenge you on this, because would you rather see this, or would you have rather seen the actual Mankind and the actual Vader versus the actual Goldust and someone else?
I actually like Goldust. I'd be okay with watching him.
I think I really liked this minis match. It was fun.
I don't know who you are. Anyway, the Masquerada guy, whatever.
Dude, he was awesome. He jumped around and did his little
Like a regular luchador. Ooh. He was the only guy that people were clapping for. Everyone else, they're like, fuck it, you guys suck. So, anyway, he beats up Mini Vader. I hate saying this, I feel like we're insensitive by saying it.
Why are we insensitive? I loved it. You're insensitive. I think he's a very talented athlete.
Anyway, match ends with what's the name? Mascara?
Mascarada or something?
Mascarada.
Yeah, mascara. I like that better.
Well, he takes the pin, right? He gets the pin.
He wins, yeah.
He wins. And then chases off Vader, and then jumps on him, and then they continue to run off into the darkness. Hopefully to never come back again.
As midgets do.
Anyway, we go over to Bret Hart's.
No, Gorilla Monsoon.
Oh, fuck him. Go ahead.
It's gonna be a title match.
Yay. We go over to Bret Hart. There's 3 things that he wants. 3 things that he says that are of interest, and we're gonna fucking move on. He wants respect. He thinks he earns it. Wants people to get in line behind him after he wins. And then he respects Ken Shamrock.
He says about to the Undertaker, you scratch my back and I'll stab yours.
No, he says that's what they do.
Yeah. But he says it to the Undertaker. He's like, look, Undertaker, this is what I've learned around here. You scratch my back and I'll stab yours. But don't worry, you'll get your match. And everyone else will. Because apparently Undertaker fans are upset because the Undertaker might lose his championship match.
At WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen.
Oh, we don't know that. There's a championship match later.
That's not going to happen.
We'll see.
Moving past that.
Rocky Maivia comes out to commentate on the Sultan versus Mike Bell.
That ends in 5 seconds. You want to know who won? Take a shot in the dark.
The Sultan with a camel clutch.
While pointing at Rocky menacingly.
It's weird to see The Rock as Rocky on commentary when he's not like The Rock yet.
Yeah. He was really quiet.
Yeah.
He said a couple things here and there. And he's like, yeah, anyway. I'm just here because I love people. But he did hit it.
He did call the Intercontinental Championship the People's Belt.
I'm sensing some fizzle right in his memory banks here, or his brainular area, where he's like, maybe I should be the People's Champ.
And he is.
We'll get there. It's gonna take some time. We are slogging through this shit.
Shawn Michaels! He found his smile. This was a promo that it wasn't a bad discussion thing, but it really didn't lead to anything.
Well, no, it did. He wants to go to WrestleMania.
Yeah, to commentate.
And he wants to go to Slammies.
Oh. We covering the Slammies?
No. But he wants to go there.
He's going to commentate on a WrestleMania match.
Okay, asshole. He also wanted to thank fans.
He appreciates his fans, expects his knee to be fixed in a few months.
Years.
He invited himself to WrestleMania and he wants his Slammies.
I'm going to tell you right now, I firmly believe he faked his injury. Because he's going to be back in the main event scene quicker than that.
We'll see.
Anyway, next match we've got Vader versus the British Bulldog. Yeah.
Pretty cool match here.
Yep, starting off with Vader beating British Bulldog into a corner. He's got a powerful offense mounted onto him, and there's a very clear power difference that they play up with Bulldog trying to charge him down, shoulder check him, and it's not working the way he wants it. Bulldog switches up the style, hits him with a jumping shoulder check or whatever you want to call it. Bam, takes him down. He's like, all right, we're moving forward.
Young John Cena's like, oh.
Ideas here.
Nice.
If only I had a Braun Strowman guy. If I had a giant of my own. A Big Show guy or something. Yeah.
Big Show.
Clearly has a way that he's going to want to go with it at that point. But then we get to the real high flying. Jet flying. Styling.
Profiling. Racial profiling.
Steal your styling. Racial profiling. Oh, I can't say that word. We get a vertical suplex.
To Vader.
From British Bulldog. Which, here's the thing. When you see those things happen, usually on a bigger guy, it's always shaky, right?
Yeah.
But they get it up. This was one of the more smoother, like, transitions. He literally went, and then took him down, which is always nice to see.
Awesome.
Real displays of power in that case. That's one thing I do like about as wrestling progresses, you start to see like those real, true like displays of power more consistently, which is nice. Vader falls in love with his favorite move, the frog splash, and continues to do it to British Bulldog, whatever.
Mankind or Bulldog kind of takes control of the match and gets Vader up for the power slam, but Mankind tugs on Vader's leg. Disqualification seems a little harsh, but I guess I mean it is an interference, so.
Hey, wait a minute.
So it makes sense.
Why not a warning?
I just feel like I've seen that from other matches and it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I know they're telling a story. Whatever.
Straight up disqualification. Owen Hart jumps in to protect British Bulldog at that point. Surprising. And then while Owen Hart's getting jumped, British Bulldog smacks Paul Bearer, takes the urn, knocks out both Vader and Mankind at that point to get him off Owen. They put the urn back down, respectfully. And then they move on with their day.
British Bulldog is a straight face at this point.
Pretty much. And he's tag team partners with a straight up heel. It's an interesting dynamic.
We'll see how WrestleMania goes with that. Interesting. We get Ken Shamrock commentating for Billy Gunn versus Aaron Ferguson.
I can't imagine Ken Shamrock as a heel. He seems too babyface for that shit. All things considered. We might get him as a heel eventually. But as of right now, coming to the stage, he just looks like he's happy to be alive.
Yep. He's definitely a babyface right now.
Yeah, watching the match, it's a very quick one.
Yeah, Billy Gunn wins with a very sloppy looking armbar.
Yeah.
The whole match is pretty
well,
sloppy.
Hold on. A really sloppy armbar, which Ken Shamrock goes, good armbar. Nah, bro.
I assumed quiet sarcasm with that.
I hope. I really hope. Because, yes, it was shitty.
Billy Gunn trash talks Shamrock and calls him to the ring. To which Shamrock hesitantly accepts.
I think he pulled a Robert De Niro impression. You talking to me? Is he talking to me? You talking to me? I don't see what else are you talking to?
It's an arena.
Yeah, and then he's like, yeah, bro, like, get on the fucking stage. He gets on, okay, I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. Anyway, so they have a little standoff. Billy Gunn is like, woo, you can hit me with your jiu-jitsu. And sure enough, he does.
Shamrock taps him out twice.
Yeah, armbar and then sort of an ankle lock. On him.
Kurt Angle's taking notes. Got a lot of note takers right now.
Yeah, this is during his broken neck.
Gold,
Olympic gold one. That's a good one.
That'll work.
That'll work.
Stone Cold's not impressed though. And Shamrock, he thinks Shamrock's a piece of trash.
And he goes, people just recorded you in a street fight and that's how you're famous now. It's like, well, maybe. But who fucking cares? At the end of the day, he's going to be your referee. And he goes, I'm going to win WrestleMania, so who fucking cares? And then Sid comes out and yells at the camera. There's nothing to discuss about there.
Well, I think the only thing with that's important, and this leads into the match, is that he knows why Austin is here. Because Austin is in the building, which everyone's surprised about, even though he's a wrestler for the company. But
does he have movie deals yet? No, he doesn't.
I think this makes the match really interesting, is that if Brett wins, then his match at WrestleMania becomes a title match against Stone Cold. And if Sid wins, then it remains between him and The Undertaker. So now, Stone Cold and The Undertaker have reasons to care about who wins this match.
So, of course, they're going to show up later. So we go to our main event. Oh, yeah. Stone Cold's watching, ominously, as Bret Hart and Psycho Sid engage in a cage match with a very, very, very small and flimsy cage.
It is very short.
Yeah. Like, I think on the turnbuckle, Sid is already, like, waistline. With just bring my legs over? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, Kevin Nash would just be like that.
So, yeah, to start this match off, I was surprised how quick and easy they were trying to escape. Like, I think there was like 2 moves done, and then already Brett was trying to leave.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out of here. At this point, which surprisingly, up until this point, no one used the door. And Stone Cold thought the same thing. Better close this bitch up! Just as Psycho Sid is reaching for it at that point. And they've had a couple exchanges at this time. Nothing really noteworthy, but whatever.
Yeah. Steve keeps the door shut. They then Psycho Sid tries to climb over, and Stone Cold climbs up the cage and starts punching with him and
No disqualification.
keeping him busy. Taker ain't having it. He comes in there and he gets up there with Stone Cold and Psycho Sid, and now Brett, who decides to climb up in the exact same spot for reasons unknown.
You could have went to a completely separate area.
But whatever, it's a good visual.
They're too distracted.
Good visual, I guess. And then the Undertaker fights him off, so now they push him back into the ring, where Brett hits the superplex. For some reason,
Sid gets up.
Sid gets up first.
Ow! Alright.
He's a big boy, I guess. I don't know.
He's a big boy.
So in the meantime, Stone Cold hits the Undertaker with a chair, hoping to take him out for a long time. Doesn't really work.
He's dead.
Psycho Sid tries to escape the cage on the back end camera, but Brett is a little bit quicker with the door. Opens the door, steps out. No dice. The Undertaker
right back in.
slams it in his face, and really more on his hand.
Yeah. Ah, shit!
And Sid makes it out, retaining his WWF championship.
Good for you, Sid. You know who's not happy about it, though.
Stone Cold and Bret Hart.
And now that I think about it, just about everybody. Even Vince isn't happy about it because right after the commercial break, we get back and man, is Bret Hart just peeved off. Oh, absolutely unacceptable. He pushes Vince away. He's upset. He takes the mic and he goes, everyone knows I'm the goddamn best. And then he goes, if you don't think that, tough shit. Spitting all over the place, man.
It's like, when you ever see Bret Hart promos, you're always like, oh, this is kind of lame. Like, he's not the best promo guy.
Yeah.
Because it always seems like he was trying, like, you need to say, like, this match, I'm going to win, I'm going to beat you. And he's like, okay, I'm going to beat you with the sharpshooter, and I'm going to win, and because I'm the best that there is.
Say hi to your mother for me.
Yeah. Now, this promo, like, it feels like a shoot. It feels like he's legitimately pissed off. And if he was yelling, this is what he would sound like.
Yeah, sounds about right. There was a lot of apologies from the commentators.
Yeah.
We apologize for his behavior. We apologize for the language he used.
Yeah.
And he said goddamn a couple more times. Shit, goddamn it, shit. Austin comes out. I was trying to help you, but you couldn't do stuff because you're a loser. And then, Austin's like, I ain't trying to lose my job. And then it's so hilarious because Psycho Sid comes back out. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He literally takes the belt off and drops it somewhere.
Yeah.
A fan could have got it. And then he was just like, what do you say? I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. And then he's out there, and he's close enough to where he's mic'd up, and it was sort of like a mic can pick him up. And they do. And we all laugh. And then he comes in and then
Have like a little stare down.
Yeah, they have a little bit of a stare down. Undertaker comes in, and I think he jumps on Undertaker?
Yeah, Bret Hart just dives out of the ring onto Undertaker.
Fuck you, Undertaker! Jumps out to him. And then Austin literally does this to roll Undertaker off. He's like, let me fuck him up, you get in there. And then Undertaker's like, oh, bet, fuck it.
Yeah.
So they get in the ring, they start wrestling out. And then this devolves into just a brawl. Makes you realize how shitty in reality WWF would be if they couldn't stop their wrestlers from fighting. Horrible.
Yeah.
Because every ref, every official would just be like, getting pushed away.
Cut it out.
These guys are superhuman. They're superstars. So.
And then Shawn Michaels comes out, and then the show ends.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels picks up a chair. He doesn't use it.
Oh, and he takes off his watch. What are we doing?
I don't know what the deal is with Shawn Michaels.
Why are you here?
Anyway, that's Raw. Which show is better? I think they're both good.
Raw.
I agree.
Raw. Dean Malenko versus Scotty Riggs sucked. Didn't like the Hugh Morris and Conan thing. Max versus DDP was okay. The Arn with Gene thing was weird. The burial matches that were on WCW are bullshit. Worst match, by the way, in my opinion, I'm gonna give it to Scott Norton and Chavo.
Really?
I thought it was pointless. It didn't serve any storyline.
Yeah, it didn't serve any storyline.
It was just there. Sure. It was fucking there. And that was it. Best match. Oh, here we fucking go. Time to pick through the shit. Find something decent. And this is the worst part, is like, I can't even think of one. Really.
I'm just gonna give it to the main event of WWF.
Yeah. WWF gets it. And it's kind of...
When you can't pick like a technical classic or a emotional classic, I mean,
most main events are fine.
You go like, well, this one had star power and it had a story and
it was interesting. Kept me engaged.
That. So I mean,
yeah. But yeah, WCW fucked up. I hate these fucking burial matches. And then we got another pay-per-view in 2 fucking weeks. Calm down. Calm down.
I think if you just looked at a match perspective, specifically at the match, I would put the worst match as Billy Gunn versus Aaron Ferguson.
That was shit.
Yeah.
That was pretty shit.
Because Aaron doesn't even look like a wrestler.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
He looks like he came straight out of his mom's basement.
But neither does Mike Enos and that one other guy. They look like shit.
Yeah, but they put up a fight.
No, Scott Hall let them.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Keep these guys out for a little bit. Kevin's like, no, bitch.
No way.
No fucking way. Not in my house. I'm gonna bury him just like I buried everything else. My quads!
Well, next time we're getting WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. Yay.
And then the week after that looks like we're getting Spring Stampede.
We want the gold, sucker! It's gonna be great. Anyway.
I'm Spencer.
I'm JD.
This is The Heel Turn.
Thanks for watching.